Hi, it's Britt with CVP Windows and Doors, and today I'm excited to be in Williamsburg in this beautiful home, and I have the opportunity to talk to our friend David. And David has had our windows for 7 years, and so I'm really excited, David, to hear about your experiences. So thank you for taking this time to sit down with me. So you've actually had our windows, I think we were talking and you said it was since 2014, is that correct?
That's
okay. Correct. And back then, what really was your reasoning initially to look for replacement windows?
Well, like I said, we were the second owners of the home, and out of 25 windows, 8 windows were leaking. They had no vacuum seal, would fog over. Bathroom windows, we had block windows that were filling up with water.
Okay.
So it was way past time to replace the windows.
Sure. Okay, we hear that from other homeowners too, especially the seal failure, and that's where you start to see that clouding and the condensation between the glass. So you were starting to see that?
Right.
Okay, okay, great. Now, when you decided that you were going to do replacement windows, how did you do your research? Were there a lot of different companies that you looked at?
We did. We looked a lot of local companies, looked at some of the big box stores, trying to, when you have that many windows to replace, it can be pretty costly.
Exactly, it's an investment.
So we looked at some of the larger window companies that advertised buy so many windows, get one free, and lifetime warranty and things like that.
Sure.
But the cost was just not in our budget. I mean, for a medium home family to spend that much money, and it was astronomical.
Okay.
On windows, when we, couldn't afford that. So I started doing a lot of research. Looked at big box stores after that.
Okay.
They were cost effective, but they wouldn't guarantee who was going to do the work.
Okay, sure.
So it was, you had to trust them on who was going to do the work, and then if you had trouble afterwards, you had to go through the big box store to get warranty work done. So that wasn't going to work either. So we started having people come out and give us estimates. And then when they would bring their product out, I started noticing a trend that a lot of the windows were all made the same.
Okay, sure.
And so when they were all made the same, but such a varying cost estimate.
Okay.
Some as high as $10,000 to $15,000 more than others. It was a lot. So we live here in Williamsburg. The Newtown community was being constructed.
I remember that. Right. Okay.
So I drove over there to look at the new houses, and I actually was inspecting the windows.
Okay.
And I noticed the windows that they were putting in happened to be CVP windows.
All right. Yes, that's
so.
True.
The gentleman who was putting them in, I asked him, I said, what do you think about these windows? And he just started bragging about the windows. I said, well, what makes these windows better than all the rest? Because we custom make them, and we're right here local.
Okay.
I'm like, wow, local. I like supporting local businesses. And so when I looked at them, they truly were made the same, if not better, than all of these people that claim to have the top of the line windows.
Okay, sure.
But along with that top of the line window that they claim, is that top line price.
Sure.
Rolls Royce price.
Okay, okay.
And I will tell you, and for the audiences and viewers, I'm not getting anything out of doing this video.
No, he's really not. He's really not. This is a good faith testimonial and a friend of ours who just believes in our product, and that's why I'm so glad to be here with you. So I hear you saying that there's a wide range in prices when you look at this and you do your research, and it can be confusing. Was it confusing for you?
Very much so. I mean, I had to literally learn how windows were made and the differences between the gases and this double and single pane windows, double and single hung windows, because the windows we had in here were a very thin, really thin glass. All of the dividers were on the outsides of the windows, so literally.
So the grids were actually on the outside of the window. Okay, those are, yeah.
And they were single hung, so we couldn't drop the top down to get, let the hot air out. And so doing my research, I realized that for efficiency, you really want a double hung window.
That's true.
And some of the companies that had double hung windows, you had to pay extra for the screens too.
Okay.
And so you'd drop the top down, or you wouldn't have a screen at the top. So we really did have to learn how windows were made and did the research. So I probably spent I would say a better part of 3 months having people come out, doing the research to find the right company.
Okay, sure. Well, we really appreciate your diligence and can understand that other homeowners have been in that situation. And buying windows is something people usually only do once in their lifetime. It is an investment, and so you want to make sure you're getting the best value. Now, David, we like to tell our customers that they get the best value when they purchase with us. So do you feel like in choosing CVP you really got a good value?
Hands down.
Okay.
I had to sit there and think for a second. There is no comparison.
Wow, okay.
No comparison whatsoever. I know the product that I got. To this day, I am so satisfied with this product, which is why I'm doing this.
Sure.
Which is why I've probably told a dozen people about CVP windows. Every time I hear somebody say, "Oh, I've got to buy new windows, and oh, this company wants so much, and they're not guaranteeing," or I said, "Stop! I've already done the research for you." And matter of fact, when we had our windows put in, I was so impressed, not only with the quality of the window, but the craftsmanship and the professionalism of the staff or the crew that came out and did it. 2-day period to do the entire house, 25 windows, 3 custom windows, a picture window that you see behind us.
It's gorgeous, yes.
And again, custom made. Custom made our bathroom windows where we took out the block windows.
Sure.
So now we have a bathroom we can actually open a window, which is great. And so when we did that, I invited Barry and CVP to the homeowners association meeting and told all the homeowners, you really got to look at this product.
Thank you. We are so grateful for that, and thank you. You know, we tell people we offer a good value, but it's always nice to hear it from somebody who actually has our product in their home. Now, David, you also have had these windows for about 7 years, as we said, and I'm just curious, you know, we like to tell people that their windows are really going to provide value over time, and so in that 7-year period, what are some of the things that you've noticed?
Well, besides, I'm the one that cleans the windows now.
Okay.
I would never do that before.
The double hungs make it easier.
The double hungs make it easier. I used to
Sure.
actually get up on a ladder and clean the outside of the windows, and not safe, you know, and it's not easy. Now I literally. It's so easy and pleasurable to clean the windows because the tops and bottoms rotate in.
Sure.
Big feature for that. But not only that, just the efficiency of the windows, I think, and we've had no problems with these windows in 7 years.
Wow.
Nothing is, not a latch is broken, nothing has gone wrong with the windows whatsoever. Now, that being said, there's always things that can go wrong. We had a leak in one of the windows. So I want people need to know that you have CVP is a company they can stand behind.
We do, and I'm glad you mentioned that. We do have an in-house service department, and we're local, as you've said, and so the nice thing about that is that we do stand behind our product, and if you were to have a problem, we're right here. We actually have a service technician on staff. We have an entire team who's willing to come out and diagnose that problem and find a solution. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So you mentioned that there was a problem with your windows. Is that correct?
Yep.
You had a leak? Okay.
Yep. And so the reason why I think that's so important for folks to know, nothing's perfect, and water will get in anywhere. And there happened to be
path of least resistance.
There happened to there was a small spot at the top of one of the custom windows that wasn't caulked.
Okay.
And over about a 3-year period, it started leaking, and we went out of state for my job, came back and noticed that there was a leak, and we noticed it from the inside. Had I gone to a big box store and not knowing who put my windows in, that wouldn't have been repaired. I will tell you, I picked up the phone immediately when I noticed what it was, and CVP sent out a maintenance crew, looked at it and said, "Yep, it's one of our windows, it's leaking. You have no problems to worry about." And so they, within a day, had sent a crew out, tore the window out, took the siding off, took the insulation out, took the siding, replaced it. You, to this day, will never know that window was ever replaced and taken out and repaired.
Wow. Well, thank you. We appreciate that, and we do have a great team. We have a great team of installers. They all work for us, and we really want to make sure that you're happy. Like as Barry says, we are neighbors. We are in this community. Our names are in the phone book, although there's really not a phone book anymore. So we stand behind our product because we know you know where to find us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's a thing. But we would do it anyway because it's the right thing to do, and I'm glad that you had a positive experience. Now, we talked a little bit about energy efficiency, and you mentioned that you've noticed that your house feels different, and also that you've noticed some differences in your heating and air conditioning bill. Is that true? Can you tell me a bit about that?
Most of it. First thing was the noise.
Okay.
So
all right.
we live on, our street's pretty busy,
Sure.
and it's only one way in and one way out. Probably 300 home subdivision. And before, with our old windows, you literally thought the cars were coming into your house.
Through the window? Okay.
So not only are these windows efficient, they're quiet. And the noise reduction from these windows in the front of the house was I mean, very noticeable.
Really, right away, as soon as you installed those windows, you noticed it, okay?
And what was even more exciting was the utility bills. So we did nothing else to our house for efficiency since we've lived here. We've been here about 17 years. We've done nothing else to this house other than replace the windows. Our utility bills dropped, my wife would say, a minimum of 25% each month.
That's huge.
Just from replacing the windows.
That's huge. Wow. Well, and do you feel like that's huge. Cost savings is a huge benefit. Do you notice that the temperature was more consistent throughout the house, that it felt cooler, you were getting less heat gain through the windows?
Most definitely. Okay. And with a house that only has one system for a 2-story house, that's important to know that you've got good circulation, but not only that, the air isn't leaking out of the windows like it did before.
Right.
Literally, the air, in the summertime you could feel the hot air coming through the windows.
Sure.
and in the wintertime you'd, close a window and you'd feel all the cold air. In the wintertime now, we open up the blinds, things like that. It isn't this rush of cold air from the window. There is no temperature change in the window.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And that's really the glass that we use, the Lowy 270 glass is our standard with the coating that prevents heat gain, and so it's great to know that the performance benefits that we put into that window, you actually see those when you're in the home and enjoy that year after year. So I just so appreciate this chance to talk with you. I think that the last question I would have for you is really what you would say to somebody else about CVP's products, and you can be completely honest. If someone were looking for replacement windows, what would you direct them to do?
Call CVP. I mean, it's for me, it's not even a question of doubt or question the product. I'm not kidding when I say I probably have recommended 9 people of my friends who were looking for windows to have done, and probably 6 are in this neighborhood.
Wonderful. Okay.
And because they'll ask, Dave, who put your windows in? What